Hey guys, this is Trevor the High Desert Tactical, and I wanted to share an article that my lady Sarah turned me on today in a local paper in the city that I work in. And the paper is called The Source Weekly. And ironically, it's a very liberal paper, and I tend to not read it because it does have a lot of anti-gun, a lot of pro-gun. I mean, they have a lot of beliefs that I don't agree with. And what's really funny is a lot of our media in the Central Oregon area is very liberal, and a lot of it is very anti-gun. And so I tend to not read anything that has anything to do with my local area because it just upsets me that much. But Sarah saw this article called Pumped, Single White Liberal Female Buys Gun. And this was written by Erin Foote Marlowe. This article is literally 5 pages long, 6 pages long. So it's long. And she is basically discussing buying a gun. In the first part of the article, though, before you even get into it, is she starts talking about the first person she ever knew to be shot. In the way she words it in the article, I don't even know if she really knew the person in any way. I think it was just the first person she can recall hearing about being shot with a firearm. And then she goes on to talk about people being killed by firearms and children messing around firearms that shouldn't be messed with and things. And that's kind of paraphrasing in a poor way. I definitely encourage you to check out the link down below and read the article for yourself. I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts on it. And so she just kind of goes off about how she moved in to her house in a new portion of town where she has an alleyway where it's frequently visited by drunks, vagrants, teenagers that are up to no good. And so it kind of put her in this kind of fear. You know, she talks about laying in her bed alone, being kind of worried. And so she's discussing about wanting to buy a gun. And what's funny is that she posted on her Facebook that she was thinking about buying a gun, and she got like 127 comments within like a 5-day period or something. And some were positive, and there was quite a few of them telling her that they felt sorry for her, that she felt afraid, and that some said that, you know, crime and danger is just a way of life, and so you should just accept it and live your life. And like it was really funny to hear these or to read these comments that she posted, or comments she kind of paraphrased into her article, because that is just sad that people would say that. Just like, oh, you know, danger's around the corner, so just live your life. There's a man gonna kill you next week, but just live your life. Don't prepare yourself. Don't defend yourself. Nothing like that. And that just blows me away that there's people like that live in this world and think like this. And as I was further reading through it, it started to become more of a positive article from my aspect of being somebody that's probably, you know, in the beginning kind of anti-gun. But she does talk about her childhood living in Alaska and having a stepfather that was very pro-gun and very adamant about teaching her and her sister how to shoot. And she actually liked shooting, her sister did not. And so there was like kind of that dynamic range on family. And she discussed one thing that I really was impressed by is she went and she has a friend, and it's actually a person that I'm familiar with, and you'll read about him in the article. I've dealt with him with my other job at the sporting goods store selling firearms, is that he does instructional training on firearms, and she actually sought out a 4-hour class with him shooting different firearms and learning about it before she decided to purchase a firearm. And in the long run, she ends up buying a shotgun for her home. And I commend her for that. I don't care what kind of shotgun it is. Even if it's a double-barreled shotgun, I don't care. I commend somebody taking the forethought to defend themselves. And she even makes a few comments in her article about not really being in fear. She just wants to be able to back up her defense. She wants to be able to tell people to step back and get away, and then be able to back up that command. You can't just say it and then people not listen to you, and then you're just screwed. You can't bluff. So, you know, that was one of the things that really amazed me about her, is taking that class, deciding on purchasing a firearm. But one thing about it that was kind of like a negative factor is that once she got this shotgun in the article, you know, as you've read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. She, you know, she waits till her children go to bed, so she's like keeping this firearm secret. Now that's okay within some aspects, and maybe she has a different plan later on in life, and that's okay because her kids are very young. They're like 4 and 2 years old. So that, I mean, I understand that, but she has this idea that this gun is this thing that has to be hidden, and she refers to it as a coiled up snake ready to strike at anyone at any time. And that concerns me because I don't think you should ever think of a gun as a coiled up snake ready to strike at any time. You should think of a gun as a fire extinguisher under your sink, or as a first aid kit in the back of your car. You should think of a gun as an aid. Yes, it's dangerous. So are first aid kits. There a lot of very advanced first aid kits can have medications in them that could make you sick if you ingested it or whatever. A fire extinguisher, you could hurt yourself with a fire extinguisher if you don't know what you're doing. Every tool can have an inherent danger. You can smash your thumb with a hammer, okay? Yes, a gun is very dangerous, and I understand that, but you shouldn't have that fear of it. You should have a good comprehension and control over it. And one thing that I would always look at is I'm always going to be sure to educate when I have children, educate my children about firearms. And I will start at an early age. But the thing is there's also precautions, because a lot of people talk about, you know, guns, you know, like I have a safe in my garage. I don't even have children, but I've grown up in a house not ever having a safe. We've just had guns hidden behind all our doors all my life. I mean, from the day I can remember. And I never once had an incident with a firearm. I never abused a firearm, and I will swear to that because I think my family was very wise about just educating me on firearms. And, you know, not to get on this whole firearms education thing or whatever, but yeah, you know, I'm getting off subject. I definitely encourage you to check out this article, Pumped, Single White Liberal Female Buys a Gun. I got the link down below in the description box. Read it. Post a VR if you got comments on it on this video. I'd really appreciate to hear your point of view on the article. Comment down below or whatever. But this is Trevor the High Desert Tactical. I'm done yakking. I've been really trying to keep my videos to short and sweet. So, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I am actually going on vacation tomorrow, so I will make sure to film my vacay time and get a video up as soon as I can. I got a lot of positive feedback from my last vacation video. All right, guys, take care.